So I've been seeing a lot,
Mm.
David. You may have
Yes.
seen this topic come up. You may have heard
Mm.
things on Reddit about this a lot. Even average people I know make this argument. Red states, when it comes to government
Mm.
spending, red states are a drain on society and blue states are a gain on society. And what they mean by that is like states like California, when it comes to taxes, they're paying in a lot of taxes,
Mm.
while states like Mississippi, Georgia, even my state of Tennessee, they tend to drain taxes out of through public programs like Medicare,
Mm.
Medicaid, or other government assisted programs like SNAP, things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the I actually think that this rhetoric is very dangerous, and I personally can't really support it. I think that this is classist.
Mm.
I think that it's really cringe, and it concerns me. I think that when people say like red states just drain, it turns it into a class warfare thing, but
Mm.
between the wrong thing. Rather than poor people and working people together versus capital, it's capital owners and other workers against poor people. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It turns poor people into the enemy. And I think that's really dumb because, like, when you say red states are a drain, you're totally ignoring the context of why those states are that way. Like, why people who live there
Mm.
don't have access to the facilities that they should. It's not because they're stupid and poor and racist. They're racist, of course, and that's bad. And they are stupid, and that's bad. And they have way more kids than the average,
Mm.
upper class household, which is probably bad. And there's a number of things that are bad, but those are symptoms. Those aren't the causing problem.
Yeah.
And I think that the red state, blue state thing, it's very classist, and it makes me uncomfortable. Do you agree or disagree, or
Yeah,
what? Do you
no,
have any
I
insight
agree
on
with
that?
you. It's definitely weird because, like, I mean, even California, it's like California's GDP is like higher than a lot of countries, just that state alone. So it's like
Yeah.
weird to make this like comparison because like no other state in the United States can even compare to California's GDP.
Right. And then also like when it comes to taxes and stuff, a lot of red states, I mean, they're free market economy states more so than places like California. There's
Mm.
fewer regulations, like tax revenue is lower. Like on every metric, like even people who live there, they're not making decisions to be a drain on society. They just happen to live somewhere that put takes in more resources. I don't think it's fair to blame the people that live there. I don't understand that even
Yeah.
because kind of the whole rhetoric of the Democratic Party is that, oh, we want to expand access to these
Mm.
social programs. Like that could mean that blue states that right now are in the positive, so to speak, in terms of government spending, aka they put in more than they take out. That could change under Biden if he decides to include more of these social programs, which is a good thing. I mean, government spending is not like a household. You don't need to make a budget and be like, oh, we have this much money to spend. That's not how it works. You're allowed to create money. You're allowed to make up bullshit because it's all imaginary.
Mm.
And Republicans understand that, and that's why they're able to do more change when they need to.
Mm.
But I'm afraid that Biden, people like him, don't necessarily understand that. They're not willing to use the tools of government to actually make change. Zion says a lot of those states are also havens for the upper class and those that abuse the workers, especially New York and California. Very true.
Mm.
And they make their money in states that are lower regulation, like Georgia, for example. If you look in the movie industry, Georgia is one of the places where most movies in North America are filmed because they offer huge subsidies for film companies. How much of that do you think is kicked back to workers or in that industry in Georgia? Slim to none. A lot of these profits
Mm.
are going straight back to Hollywood. That's a great example, like of what
Yeah.
Zion says.
The Walking Dead.
These red states are havens for people to extract capital and then take it back to the coastal cities where they live, so they can have
Yeah.
amazing cities to live in. And yeah, it's definitely bad.
No, no, I definitely agree. This is a good point you're making here. Like, it's fucked. It's really fucked. Like, we see the capitalists. We see them abuse. Other countries outside the United States, but the abuse is
Right.
also coming from within.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Zion says not only that, but there won't be as much issue with unions in Georgia. Very true. Yeah, it's also a cultural thing. Zion brings up a great point too. It's like a lot of workers in the U.S. are like, I'll use the word content. They're content to be abused and
mm,
exploited because they don't understand the level of exploitation. They're kind of like when like you talk to a working person, especially like in a place like Georgia where exploitation is much higher. Uh, ask them like what they think about their job, and you can kind of figure out like this person's working for a stupid low wage. They're working stupid high hours with no benefits. They don't have health insurance.
Mm.
But then you ask them like how they are, and they're saying like I'm doing great. I'm living my best life. It's like they don't even
Mm.
realize the level of
All I need
exploitation
is
that they're at. So
my Budweiser and my shotgun, Caleb. That's all
exactly,
I
yeah, yeah,
need.
yeah.
Yeah, but
We saw that. Zion
mm,
says we saw that here in my local stuff where people ran over each other to give labor for free, just to be in a show or a movie, and they know that and use it. Yeah, exactly. Very predatory. Scary, man.
yeah,
Very scary.
yeah. But I want to get into something